In this video, I'm going to share with you my top 6 life lessons that I have learned that I really wish I knew in my 20s. They would have made my life a hell of a lot easier. But let's get stuck into it. Number 1, aim high and never settle. I think like anyone, as you go through more experiences in your life, you realise how much you're capable of and how resilient you can be. The sky really is the limit, and you are the only person that's going to put a ceiling on that. This lesson, in my opinion, is applicable across all aspects of life, whether that's from your professional development, your personal development, your relationships with people. You should never settle, and you should always aim for the best for yourself. If I'm ever unsure about my capabilities within something or whether I could achieve greatness, I always ask myself, why not me? Even with this YouTube channel, I sat there for years thinking, well, I'd really like to do it, but I don't think I'm good enough, and I don't think that people are going to be interested in listening what I have to say. And then I got to the point where actually I was watching so many different YouTubers and really enjoying them and really wanting to do it. It finally clicked, and I just said to myself, why not me? And here I am now making a video, and I'm really enjoying it. Aiming high and never settling can benefit you in all aspects of your life. Taking on board this lesson and embracing it into my day-to-day life has allowed me to step forward in so many aspects of my life. From career satisfaction and career progression, where personally I have taken no prisoners and always looked after number 1. I actually talk about my crazy career journey in another video, so make sure you check that out. To then also driving your personal growth and not settling for anything that's subpar. Don't settle for the status quo and the mediocre in life. Those types of people are never going to achieve greatness and achieve that financial freedom. Number 2, don't get left behind. I know that change can be scary, and in the world that we live in, change happens all of the time. All of the technology that is constantly entering our lives, evolving, changing, morphing the way that we live in society and amongst one another. If you don't adapt to those changes and embrace them, or at least learn how to integrate them into your life in some way or another, you are at risk of becoming obsolete and left behind. Think back to 30 years ago. We had floppy disks in our PCs and VHS videos, which anyone born after the year 2000 probably has no idea what it is. Times change and things evolve, and we as humans must evolve with them in order to remain at the top of our game. If you're able to embrace change, you will see benefits in personal and professional growth. You will be able to progress within your career, get that higher paying job, and live your best life. Embracing the change as well will allow you to build resilience and not get left behind, particularly as well as technology such as AI become more and more apparent and more involved in our lives. We need to know how to leverage that technology for fear of both becoming irrelevant, but also potentially even losing our livelihoods as a result. Number 3. Be unapologetic about your ambitions. This is something that I definitely learned the hard way. When you're younger and don't necessarily have the same level of confidence as you do as you get older and obviously have more experience, you can very easily shy away from talking about your ambitions or being overt enough about them. When I was younger, I was much more quiet, much more of an introvert, and it definitely held me back in certain situations, particularly at work, where even though I was very ambitious and wanted to learn and wanted to progress and was very hungry, I wasn't necessarily overt enough about it and bold enough in order to get noticed by my management. Whereas people on the same level and role as me were incredibly bold and incredibly loud and shouted about what they wanted, and as a result got ahead of me in terms of career progression at the time. Going through that experience, I learnt that I definitely would not let that happen again. As I've come into my 30s, I truly have embraced the view of living life without regrets. Things happen. It doesn't always necessarily go to the way that you're hoping it will. But as long as you learn from it and you learn what you would or wouldn't do differently next time, then it's a good experience and it's valuable to you. It did take a while, but now I don't let fear hold me back. I use it as fuel to push me and force me into doing something that I don't really want to do. After all, life is short and we've only got so much time on this earth. Number 4. there's more to life than work. I have definitely had some ups and downs with this one, particularly earlier on in my career where I really wanted to prove myself. I said yes to everything. I was very much a yes person. And it meant I definitely lost the balance between work and home life and got to the point where I hit burnout. As I look back now on that period of time, particularly in one job where I essentially was available 24/7 to my employer, although it was a job where I learnt a lot and I progressed really quickly within my skill set, the compromise that I made in regards to my personal life is something that I know for now, for sure, I would absolutely not do again. Number 5. Don't compare yourself to others. Now, as I said earlier, life is a journey and your journey is going to be different to your friends, your colleagues, anyone else around you. It is your unique path that you are taking. It's so easy to get stuck in comparing yourselves to others, whether that be from where they are in their career, all of the lovely things that they buy, the image that they portray on social media, which we know is a trap. And particularly when you're younger, you're so impressionable and you're so led by the people around you and what you see on a day-to-day basis that it can be so easy to get wrapped up into that. If you get stuck in that cycle, you can end up driving yourself into unhappiness and discontent. It's important that you focus on your own path with your own timelines and your own goals and support yourself on that journey by ignoring all of the peripheral stuff that's going on around you. And I fully embrace this now. I'm 100% focused on my journey, where I'm aiming towards, knowing what I'm targeting, and I'm not worried about what's going on around me. And finally, time is valuable. Your time is precious. It's the most valuable asset that you have. It is important that you associate your time with a value to understand if it's worthwhile you trading that time for something else. There are an endless number of ways that our time can be traded. And when I was younger and in my 20s, I had no real consideration of how I was utilizing my time. Now that I'm older and have more knowledge and more experience, I know how I value my time and where I find value in investing it. So, for example, if there are tasks that I can outsource or things I don't have to do, then I just won't do them. I constantly look for opportunities to bring efficiency into my life, freeing up my time to allow me to invest that in areas that I feel will benefit me more. So, for example, to be able to free up time to allow me to focus on things that are important to me, such as my mental well-being, my physical health, and focusing on things that I know are going to help me achieve my overall financial goals. I don't think that we will ever get to a point where we stop learning, stop needing to better ourselves and develop our skill sets. The world is ever changing and there will always be more life lessons to learn. But I hope the ones that I've shared with you today help you on your journey. Thanks so much for listening and I'll see you in the next one.